Greetings and welcome to episode 7 of The Yellowed Pages, a channel dedicated to old books and ephemera. I'm Liz and I'll be your guide. This episode is dedicated to books that were based on comic strips. We're going to start off with Smilin' Jack. And I was kind of inadvertently introduced to Smilin' Jack through my mom. She was very artistic and she saved everything. Well, luckily, for most of the stuff, she saved everything, including some of her sketchbooks from when she was young. And I always, in her sketchbooks, she had sketches of Smilin' Jack and his crew, and I just always thought he was so dashing. Smilin' Jack. Now this is a big little book. You can see how small that is. Fits in the palm of my hand. The big little books, according to my research, began in 1932, and the first one that was issued was a Dick Tracy. So they were. I don't know if they were primarily comic strips, but I know there were Disney ones, and of course Dick Tracy, and this is Smilin' Jack. But they're just kind of a fun little collectible. And Smilin' Jack ran from, excuse me, The Adventures of Smilin' Jack. It ran from 1933 to 1973, and was done by Zach Mosley. And Jack Martin was Smilin' Jack's full name. And some of his sidekicks were Downwind Jackson, spelled Jaxon, Fat Stuff, Rufus Jimpson, and Dixie Lee. And when I started going to like book fairs, antiquarian book fairs, and other book sales, I happened across this big little book of Smilin' Jack. And some of the big little books can get pretty pricey. So this one must have been a good price. Well, it says $25, but I don't know if I actually paid that much for it or not. But I must have been feeling rich if I did. But anyway, this is Smilin' Jack's story. And it looks like, oh, that's Hooper in the background. I know, Hooper. I'm not talking to you, bud. Looks like Smilin' Jack was supposed to be getting married at the beginning of the story here to Cindy, but then he must have been called away. And this particular one, Smilin' Jack and the Coral Princess, looks like it was copyrighted 1943 and 1945. So, during World War II. I know. And of course, lots of illustrations. That's the big little book of Smilin' Jack. And the other two books, somehow I ended up with two Smilin' Jack and the Daredevil Girl Pilot. Oh, I know, Hooper. Jeez. One has a dust jacket and the other one doesn't. This is Smilin' Jack and the Daredevil Girl Pilot. And this one is copyrighted in 1942 by Zach Mosley. Licensed by Famous Artist Syndicate, Chicago, Illinois. And of course, this one doesn't have quite as many illustrations as the big little book did. Got your bad guys. Let's see, what else do I have? I think this is Fat Stuff here. Oh yeah, Fat Stuff led the way through the jungle. So that's our hero, Smilin' Jack. And next is Brenda Starr, girl reporter. Brenda Starr was always one of my favorites in the comic strips. I secretly wanted to be Brenda Starr, I think. She was a beautiful, smart redhead reporting for the Chicago Tribune. And that comic strip ran from 1940 to 2011. Dale Messick was the original artist and writer. And some of the other characters in Brenda Starr were Basil St. John. I think that's her love interest. He's the mystery man with the eye patch. And Muggs Walters, Pesky Miller, and Daphne Dimples. You gotta love the names in these books. This one has some illustrations. I know I read this years and years and years and years ago, but I don't really remember what the storyline was. Looks like from the illustrations, Brenda runs into trouble. Gets out of trouble. Oh, yoicks. I think Muggs Walters must have been her editor. Well, that's Brenda Starr. And next is Terry and the Pirates. This is April Kane and the Dragon Lady, a Terry and the Pirates adventure. And Terry and the Pirates ran from 1934 to 1973. It was done by Milton Caniff from 34 to 46 and George Wonder from 46 to 73. And some of the other characters were the Dragon Lady and April Kane. Oh, well, that says here. And looks like in the beginning, Terry Lee is Terry's full name, and he goes to China with his friend Pat Ryan, seeking the lost gold mine. And the adventures begin. And then during World War II, he went into the army. This is dated 1942, but the inscription here says 1946, your pal from John and Bill. It also lists the illustrations. Hot diggity. bad guys. I don't think I've read this one yet, so I'm not sure what the whole storyline is. I'm sure our hero, Terry, comes out ahead. And for these, really, you gotta see them in color to appreciate them, especially Brenda Starr. But you get the Sunday paper with the color comics, and look forward to that every week. So that's this short but sweet episode of the Yellowed Pages. We're looking at books that were based on comic strips. If you have a favorite comic strip, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, keep reading, and take care. Bye.